Danite Radio.
Welcome to the Counter Revolution.
Now
No,
is it
I
started?
started it.
Wow.
I guess I gotta hold this close today, huh?
Yeah,
I really ought to get mic stands.
maybe. We're doing all right.
Yeah, we do okay.
We should definitely spend more money on this podcast that we do like once every 4 months.
Yes, we should.
Anyways,
Welcome back, folks. Long time no talkie.
long time no talkie. I was clicking the pen again.
That's a gay. I didn't want that Sharpie on my desk anyways.
Good.
We're back. Welcome back to another episode of Danite Radio.
Danite Radio. What's up?
So, nothing much, man.
I was listening to Jocko on the way over.
Love that guy.
He's having some controversy in his life.
Is he now?
Yeah, do you know what it is?
No, I haven't.
He was a spotlight of another channel called Fake or Natty or something.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know. Something more clever than that, but it's about whether he did steroids.
Oh, okay.
The person who did the video concluded that Jocko does steroids. I don't think it's that bad of a conclusion. But the only way to really know is to wait for the person's reaction.
Sure.
So ask me how Jocko
How did
reacted.
Jocko react?
Like someone who doesn't do steroids.
What did he say?
He laughed, was flattered,
Oh, well, yeah.
but then
He probably doesn't do steroids.
but then said, "I'm only addressing this because I don't want people in the military to think that it's okay to do steroids because you will lose your job." So, don't do steroids, folks, but thanks for the compliment there, guy.
Huh. Oh.
But he also sees where the guy's coming from. He's like, Jocko trains 3 times a day, and he's jacked, and he sleeps 5 hours a night. He's got to be on something. So it's just, any other man would probably be on steroids, and Jocko gets that. So
Yeah.
it's also like super refreshing that he like completely understands the position he has in other men's lives as a role model, and like, but he's not like cocky about it. He's just like, look, man, I'm BA. Moving on, I'm BA. I don't use steroids. I don't care if you use steroids, but if you're in the military or a cop, you may lose your job. So
maybe don't.
yeah, which I'm not sure. I was under the impression they weren't illegal. Are they illegal? Like, I think the laws must be weird on them. Like, I know you can't do them as a kid, but I just like, how do you? I guess you only get caught if a cop
I think
searches you.
No, I think any government employee, like, they can do them, but if they get caught doing them, they'll lose their job. They won't get arrested, though. So,
Yeah,
like,
that's why I was wondering, is it illegal or is it just against like government
I think
policy?
I think it's a policy.
Oh, okay.
That's my understanding. I don't know for sure.
Because I know kids in high school that got arrested, but I think that was like an underage thing. I don't think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that at all.
But
Because, like, you can get them from a doctor for cancer and stuff, so they can't be illegal.
I don't think that they're the same.
I think you're right. They're probably not the same, but
I'm not sure if they do anabolics but maybe. I know that they'd be great they probably did. I don't know, because our uncle was on them, Junior, before he died for cancer, and they had the same effect as anabolics, so maybe.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't.
But
Do you think Jocko does TRT, though?
he said no.
Really?
Yeah.
That one surprises me more.
So the whole thing was, does he do steroids or TRT?
Oh, okay.
And I think the kid even said at least TRT. I mean, what is he, in his 50s, Jocko?
I think so. 49, maybe.
But I think there's a lot to be said for an inhuman amount of discipline, which lends itself to both working out 3 times a day and he eats. I'm sure, I don't know for sure, but he speaks about how, and I'm just judging by the way he looks, he eats incredible, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, immaculately clean diet.
Yeah, he's got to, dude.
So I'm sure, you know, if you want to keep eating McDonald's till you're 50 and still be able to work out, you know, take those steroids, or you can just be Jocko and be super disciplined, you know?
Yeah, you're probably right about that. He is 50, by the way.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature.
Because I think, if you think about our dad, he's about 54, Dad. And he's not Jocko by any means, but he's incredibly healthy.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
In shape and I think that's mostly clean diet. And I mean, he works hard for his job, so that keeps him in shape as well. But
yeah,
I think a disciplined diet is a huge factor in aging.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I only say that because I went to Wendy's for like the first time in like 10 years today. And it messed me up, bro. It was rough, dude. I'm like, I gotta stick with the vegetables.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Interesting. I always just tend to assume those older kind of fitness guys just do TRT.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty safe assumption, but I don't know. There's a lot of guys that don't, you know, and I think there's a lot of genetics to it and clean eating, obviously. I asked one guy, I used to ask guys in the gym, you know, like jacked old men, like, what do you do? You know, and none of them ever came clean about it, which is super irritating to me. It's like, just answer the question honestly, you know. I'm not a cop, but one guy was like, well, I spent 20 years in the military, so I'm like, okay, well, that means nothing to me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He didn't handle it like that guy you asked him Mobetas if he did steroids, and he goes, why would you say that to me?
Yeah, the West Valley police officer that was all butthurt. Yeah, take it for what it is, bro, which is a huge compliment, you know. Even if you do steroids, it doesn't mean you didn't work hard. It just means you look good, you know. So relax.
Yeah.
You can't just do steroids and sit on your couch, you know. You got to move. So
I've seen a guy do steroids and sit on his couch, and it was really sad.
Really?
Junior.
Oh. Yeah.
Again, not anabolics, sad. But
that was. I don't know. We don't know. That's inconclusive.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Text your mother and ask her. Just kidding. You don't have to.
Yeah, let's dredge.
Leave it in the comments, Mom. Help the algorithm. Did Junior do anabolic steroids?
Oh, freak. That's funny. What else is going on with you, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Long time no see.
What with me working in the old, working with Tracy.
Yeah. Working with Tracy.
Yeah.
Been listening to a lot of Tiger Belly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's so funny, dude.
Bobby Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But him and his lady friend are completely retarded, bro. Like, honestly, like, their comparison, like, in order to paint somebody as retarded, they'll say, yeah, these are the kind of people that vote for Trump. And I'm like, that's your yeah, like, really? Because, dude, you are a moron, bro. Like, you're good at one thing, comedy, you know? And that's it. That's it. The reason you're so funny is because you're so stupid in the rest of your life, bro. You know? So, I don't know.
That's brutal.
It's a very frustrating thing for me to hear him pop up and say, you know.
These are the kind of people that vote for Trump.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, dude. How's that going now? How's it going now that less people are voting for Trump and more are voting for Biden? You know?
Yeah.
So.
I tend to think that's just like he's just cashing in on the Trump comedy bit.
No, dude, these are not
serious?
funny conversations they're having. These are when they get more serious.
Weird.
Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. And his lady, like, is obviously bleeding heart, commie liberal. And I think he's just following the pack. You know?
Yeah. She's out of his league. I don't know if you noticed.
Looks wise, yes. But wits wise, nah.
That's fair.
Chicks don't go for looks, you know? That's the thing. Like, everyone acts like...
It's that crazy.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, everyone that goes on the show is shocked. I'm like, really? Like, he's a super famous comedian. Of course he's got a smoking hot woman, you know? You think Jeff Ross, the ugliest man in showbiz, is betting fours? Nah. Nah. He's taking home tens. He's rich.
Dude, your boy Norm, he explained this. Yeah, you see, I've got a lot of money.
And that's the thing. At least Norm was handsome, you know? Like, that chick was also stupid. Like, you've read 6 books. How do you get women? Like, first of all, what?
He's the funniest man on the planet.
Yeah. It's like, he's rich. That's all you need, money. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's the funniest interview. Who is that with? Is that on The View?
I can't remember, dude. But, The View. Moving on. We've talked about that.
Oh, freaking guy.
But I thought about it the other day because somebody else. Oh, I was thinking of the interview with him on. It's during the Met Gala. He's doing the interview for YouTube with the acid-tongued Arab. You didn't see that one?
I don't even know who that is.
It's where he's talking about. He shows up to this interview in sweats and a hoodie. And the 2 co-hosts, I think that the one co-host is the sister, the worst. The sister on what show is
Parks
that?
and Rec.
Yeah, the sister. Whose sister is it?
John Ralphio's.
Yeah, John Raphael's sister on Parks and Rec, I think.
Okay.
And then this other guy, I can't remember what his name is, but they are pissed. Like they're pissed from the get-go. You can tell they're upset about
him showing up in sweats.
Yeah, and he just, dude, it dives from there. Like, you could tell he is like, I don't know how he got the job. I don't know what happened, but he was like, yeah, I'm going to Norm the McDonald the crap out of this, you know? And so that's the one where he's talking to Andy Samberg about his band. And he's like, so how'd you guys get your name, you know? And they go into the story, and Norm McDonald's like, man, I wish I had a time machine. And they're like, why, to kill Hitler? He's like, no, so I could get that question back. Just like bombing these interviews. And that's when he's like, I'd be nervous to go back and kill Hitler, because what if I fell under the spell of his eyes and I joined the party? And you know, because he's
Norm.
Yeah.
He's Norm McDonald.
And so, dude, it is so funny. Every moment with Norm is just so cringe and funny. And these 2 co-hosts are just upset, you know, just fuming. And I would just like to... Qasim is the guy's name. Qasim, the acid-tongued Arab. Which...
Is that his title, or are you assigning...
That's Norm McDonald's title form.
Okay.
So, I don't know... Here's the thing. I only know of Qasim, the acid-tongued Arab, because of Norm McDonald's interview with him, you know?
Okay.
Like, you're pissed about this interview, and the only reason you're on the map is because Norm McDonald is making this hilarious for people to watch. Like, nobody would see this, Qasim, you know? I would not know your name if it weren't for Norm McDonald really tanking this interview. And Norm McDonald knows that, because if he thought it was a serious thing, he would have taken it a little more seriously. If he had thought, well, maybe we can make this happen, you know, I'll wear a suit and then bomb all the interviews. No, he's like, I'm going to put this interview in front of eyes that would never see it, And if these
nobody's
people,
gonna see it if I don't.
oh,
Yeah.
for sure, the people that see it are females from age 14 to maybe 26. Those are the people seeing it. And now a 34-year-old man has seen it and is quoting it. And you're famous in my eyes, Cassim, because you're the idiot that didn't have the wherewithal to know what you had in front of you.
To ride Norm's coattails to glory.
Just like those hags at the View, you didn't know what you had in front of you. You know who did know what they had in front of them? Conan O'Brien knew every time what he had in front of him. You know who else? David Letterman. These guys knew what they had in front of them. You, Cassim, don't know what you had in front of you. I still don't think you knew what you had in front of you. You're probably spitting on the man's grave. You, sir, are an idiot. And that's why you're not famous like Norm, because you don't know what you had in front of you.
No, that's why you're not famous like Conan, dude.
Says the guy with 20 people listening to his podcast. So,
yeah, if that many. If that many.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
72 subscribers.
Yeah, but we average like 20 listeners since we're...
20 views.
Yeah, since we're taking big breaks, we're getting like 20 views.
Yeah. Yeah, we should stop doing that.
I know, sorry,
in theory.
Bro. I'm changing myself into the savage that Jocko would have me be. So I'm going to start doing steroids. Jocko does them.
Oh.
What's up?
I hope they can hear me.
Why?
My
gain's all the way
down.
Turn that stuff up, bro. See what happens. You're pretty close, though. You're doing all right.
Yeah, I've been doing all right.
So, yeah. But I get it. It'd be hard to recognize, you know. You're there. You think you're in showbiz. You got to do this interview, you know. And then this washed-up comedian that you've never... You assume washed up that you've never heard of, you know. That's the thing. Like, the shift between... generations is so much bigger than any shift between generations has been before because of technology. I could see a guy like Cassim who was probably, I don't know, this was probably 10 years ago. He was probably, I don't know, 25. He's probably my age. And I could see a guy like Cassim not even knowing who Norm Macdonald is.
And then half
because why would you watch old SNL when you can have YouTube and Netflix, you know?
Sure.
So, I don't know. And if he did know who Norm was, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, brother, because I know you're listening. But if you did know...
You can hear our name, us saying your name.
If you did know who Norm was and you'd seen his stuff and you still acted like that, you're an idiot. Like, you are completely retarded.
Yeah.
If I was ever to interview Norm Macdonald, which I will never have the chance now, except maybe in the afterlife... I would just let him run the show, bro. Let Norm's mind go where it goes and just feed him support, bro. Because he's going to make magic.
Because he's a genius.
Yeah.
He is a freaking genius.
Speaking of, there's a Norm Macdonald joke I told today to my kids. I like my movies like I like my pasta. Meatballs, too. That was on his segment that was bad jokes.
Dude, my favorite segment is when he does like they're like dirty jokes or racist jokes, and he makes his guests read them.
Yeah, dude. It was in that same segment, and he read this to David Letterman. He just reads this super long joke, and then finally ends it with, I don't believe in all that, but I do believe in wasting your time waiting for a punchline.
Oh my gosh. The man's a genius.
For sure.
The man is a genius. You hear about that kid? That that transgender fella?
Yeah.
Female maybe? I don't remember which he was. Which one they were.
He was a male
Pretending to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's brutal, man.
Tell the story.
I was curious.
Well,
what
tell
your
the
thoughts
story.
were on it.
Because nobody knows. Or they do.
I'm assuming that all
They
20
might.
of our listeners know.
Maybe.
There's a transgender youth who was using his outed transgenderism to use the women's bathroom and committing rapes in there.
Raped one girl.
Got kicked out.
Arrested.
Oh, did he get arrested?
Should have been expelled, but they just transferred him to another school.
And he did it again,
to protect
correct?
his transgenderism. Yeah, and he raped again in the new school.
My first question, do you have any updates? Do you know what, did he end up getting arrested again or what happened?
I don't know. I that's as far as I know. I'm not sure of the story. I think so. But I just know that the father yelled at the school council, the school board for it.
Yeah.
Made a big show. I think that's why it's such a big story. I think that the father wanted to keep it quiet. You know, he was trying to not involve anybody. And then when the second girl got raped, I think that's when he got the news involved, and he was upset about it. Well, obviously, but I think he was trying to protect his daughter's privacy. But then when the second girl got raped, he realized, oh, that's not an option because these people are animals.
Here's my question, I guess.
I'm not saying he thinks that transgenders are animals. He thinks the school board are animals, and the transgender who raped his daughter are animals.
How are people surprised by this? That's my question.
The school board are sheep, and they're
sheep of the movement.
The young transgendered student is a predator. Those are the animals I'm referring to. Anyway, sorry, what was your question?
How are people surprised by this? I've seen a lot of seemingly surprised outrage on the internet, and I don't understand the surprise.
Surprised outrage about the rape?
Yeah. This was... Everybody and their dog saw this coming. Am I wrong?
I guess I haven't seen the surprise outrage, but yeah. I don't think they were surprised, man. I mean,
you might be right.
I think that
I might have just read the outrage as surprise.
And maybe there are people that are surprised. What did they say? Did they act surprised or did they just act outraged?
I can't believe this could happen.
Really? They said that?
In comment sections.
Yeah, that's just stupid people. That's Bobby Lee stupid.
That's the part I don't
These understand. Are the kind of people that vote for Biden to get the tweets out of,
Yeah. Well, I guess
that's
fair.
What it is.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, it's willful ignorance. But as far as the school board goes, I think there's an agenda there. I mean, that's just to be so. The corruption of youth and the corruption of gender norms among the youth, because not only do you allow the predator into the girls' bathroom in the first place, but then when a girl is raped, legitimately raped, remember, believe all women, this girl's legitimately raped, there's an arrest for it. You let the kid go to another school, so you re-victimize the victim and then make a new victim at the same time. The only thing that can explain it is nefarious intent. And you can say, oh, we didn't want to get sued for... Nah, he'd been to jail. He didn't stand a chance. He didn't stand a chance in court suing you for kicking him out of school. He'd raped a girl. He didn't stand a chance. So it's nefarious intent. That's the only thing you can chalk it up to, I think. And I think the dad realized that. And I'd struggle, man. I'd have a hard time not. I mean, it's one thing. The kid could change, you know? The kid could change. But the school board, yeah, they're set in their ways, bro. I'd have a hard time not taking a pistol to that school board meeting.
Sure.
And just putting them all down, you know? And that's the thing, dude. That's what these people don't understand. What do you expect to happen when the system starts failing people to this degree? What do you expect to happen? You think people are just going to let it go? Or do you think that there's going to be a dad showing up at school board meetings with pistols, putting you morons down?
That's exactly what's going to happen.
You know? And I might not do it with a pistol, but I'd definitely consider a Louisville Slugger. I'd break some legs, you know? I don't want to go to prison for life, but I'd do 10 years. You know? Just to put these people in their place.
Yeah.
This is sick. And maybe this will get thrown off YouTube for inciting violence, you know? But I'm not the one inciting violence. It's the people putting it's the people putting rapists back in high schools. Yeah. You're inciting violence. Why aren't these people in jail for
if
conspiracy
else,
to commit rape?
Yeah. If nothing
Why
else, you're
get these people investigated?
Rewarding violence.
Yeah, at least the kid is a teenager. We don't know what his life looks like at home. We don't know. And he's being punished. And he's got issues. But I believe through Christ he can change.
Sure.
But these people, they're not even trying to change. They're trying to corrupt the system.
Yeah.
And I think the kid should pay a price. But I also think they should pay a price, and they're not. That's where it comes down to. When does the mob violence happen? And I'm not advocating that. I don't want these people to die, but I don't know what I'd do in that situation. You know? I'm not in the situation. And I know I've known me to get violent in bad situations, and I don't know if I'd be able to control myself.
I don't know how the dad did that. Like,
it's not everyone's de facto thing. I mean, violence must not be his thing. But at a certain point, it comes down to it. And he recognized his other options. He went to the news and made a big deal about it. And these school board members are exposed for the revolutionaries and monsters that they are. And, you know, so hopefully something will come of it. But I doubt it. Hopefully they'll get out of office at least. But it would be, it's hard for me not to plan. I could spend a week in whatever state that is. I'd drive there, find out where these people live, and follow them home one night and beat the shit out of them. And I'm trying not to swear, but I mean, it's hard for me not to think like that when it's not my kid.
Yeah, that's fair.
But these people, like that teacher that Project Veritas caught with, he had pictures of Mao in his classroom. He was talking about, I'm trying to turn these kids into revolutionaries by scaring the crap out of them. That guy, the violence crossed my mind with that guy too.
Yeah. I
mean, these guys know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if these school board members had the same mentality.
Yeah, that's fair.
At least the majority of them, or at least two of them that can sway the others.
There's something nefarious is the perfect word for it at that point. It's deliberate.
For sure. 100%. That's all it is. They're destroying the culture in order to take the United States into a communist.
And it really only needs to be one of them, like you said.
Yeah.
It could just be one of them who's,
sure.
you know.
Sure, and the other ones are sheep, you know.
Do you know what state it was in?
I don't.
Yeah, I forgot also.
I find that, like, the less details I know, the less plotting I do. I'm a much happier person.
The less scheme.
Yeah. So, but if there was and there is a teacher in my son's high school who is she runs the LGBTQ club, but she's not aggressive about it. She doesn't fail him for his views. They have arguments, but he's never received a bad grade because of his views. I don't think she's ever made fun of him or anything for his views. She's never said anything like, "Oh, these Trump supporters." So I don't have a problem with her having other views. And if you're stupid enough to let your kid go to an after-school indoctrination club where they teach that gender is not that important, but sexuality's super important, which it's the opposite, then that's on you. But she's not doing it during class, you know. But when there's a teacher who is intentionally trying to scare your kids into and telling them lies about the country and about climate change, that's where I draw the line, you know. And I'm fine. Look, man, be a revolutionary by all means, but don't be surprised when the counter revolution comes, you know. And don't be surprised when the counter revolution comes who places more emphasis on weapons and physical fitness, and they handle business the way that someone who 200 years ago would kill you easily, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sure that was all clustered in my words, what I was trying to say, but I think I got the point across. Look, 200 years ago, a man my size could have handled business in a lot different way than he would now. Which is why it's so egregious and so easy. We're so civilized that these people don't realize the danger that they're actually in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Even Antifa take bike locks to these rallies and get stomped. Their guts stomped in because they don't actually know what kind of danger they're in. They don't recognize that 140-pound man swinging a bike lock ain't shiz compared to a 210-pound redneck who's been in tons of bar fights, smoking a cigarette in his mouth, beating your A, you know? They don't know. Yeah. They don't even realize the nature of violence. They don't understand how fragile they are.
Real danger.
Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it until they get pummeled.
Yeah. It's
even the ones that do aren't that good at it. Even the ones that have been to prison for underage for statutory rape, they don't get that you don't run after a man with an AR-15. Just let the guy with the gun go if he's running away. That's a reference to Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, I got
listeners.
I got the reference.
You know, they don't get it. And another guy pulls a Glock and doesn't get. You got to point and shoot. You can't just pull the Glock and expect the guy who has a gun to just take it. He might shoot your arm off, kid.
And to that end, you know where you want the guy with the gun? Running away from you.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of you're in a violent altercation, the guy with the gun runs away, that's a good sign. You let him run. Yeah. Don't chase him down.
That's what I don't... That's the problem, all right? I from what I've seen from the left in this country, they're the worst fighters on the planet, man. It's going to be a quick civil war. A very quick one. Unless they can somehow get in charge of the military, which they're in charge of now, but unless they can get the military to follow orders, they don't stand a chance. Which they may, you know? It's like
they need a red army. It's
like the anarchists say, every cop's just one order away from being a baby killer, but I haven't seen it proven. But I guess in Nazi Germany maybe it was proven, you know?
I haven't seen it in this country though.
Yet. And that's the other thing I wanted to get into. People are standing up about this vaccine. It's been the line, man. Unfortunately, not as many military as you'd hope, but I know guys getting thrown out for it. But Southwest Southwest is backing down. A lot of cops are like, we're not doing it. We'll quit, and that's good. You know, that's a good sign for this country for sure. that there is a line. It's way too far this way, if you ask me, but at least there is a line, you know?
It took a long time to draw it.
Like,
holy
they have to be standing over you with a needle before you draw the line? Jeez, come on, man. Maybe 10 feet that way would be better, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, holy cow.
But that's a good sign, you know? I mean, people are like, no, I'm not doing it. And a lot of it is, look, I'm not scared of this vaccine, but I'm not going to be forced to do anything.
It's unbelievable. Just the absolute stupidity with the whole thing.
And even worse is the people that are for it are celebrating the force, you know? Oh, yeah, we got to get these people forced to do it. The people stupid enough to vote for Joe Biden, you know, are all about it.
I see what you did there.
These are the kind of people that
turnabout.
These are the kind of the people that vote for Joe Biden.
I guess turnabout is fair play.
The difference is I know what the hell I'm talking about, and Bobby Lee doesn't know anything. But he's funny. He's one of the funniest men ever.
Yeah, he is.
When he feigns outrage, dude, like he's talking to Brendan Schwab and Brian. Is it Brian?
Brian Callen.
Yeah, Brian Callen. And he's like, so when I was 13, I got sexually assaulted by a Down syndrome. And they start laughing. And he's like, why are you laughing at that? No, don't laugh. I'm going to tell one more time. If you laugh, I'm leaving. When I was 13, I was savagely assaulted by Down syndrome. And they start laughing. He's like, why are you laughing? They're like, you threw a curveball. Oh, dude. Like, brilliant, bro.
I was savagely sexually assaulted every day for the summer by
He's like, why are you laughing?
Dude, have you seen the one he's talking to Theo Vaughn? And Theo goes, are you asleep right now? And then just goes right back into and he just looks
yeah, dude.
So mad.
Yeah, dude. They're so funny together.
Oh, he put out a new special. Theo?
Yeah. On Netflix?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you don't have the Netflix, do you?
Nope.
You want Dusty's password?
Maybe. Give it to me right now. Just kidding. I think I know it.
You probably do. Dude, get on there and watch it. Steal it.
But I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, Netflix is finally standing their ground with Dave Chappelle. It's like, okay, Netflix is partially responsible for the degradation of the culture, you know, with cuties. And now, yeah, they're finally standing their ground when, yeah, they have a $21 million investment in Dave Chappelle. Shocking.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about
and plus,
the Dave
they're
Chappelle
not
special.
standing their ground. They're slowly slipping.
What do you mean
Anyways,
slowly slipping?
they're starting to backtrack. They're starting to appease their employees. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Let's talk about the Dave Chappelle special.
All right.
Have you seen bits of it? Well, what do you know about it?
I haven't seen. I don't think I've even seen a clip.
Oh. Okay. He's getting hailed as this hero of the right.
Yeah, I have heard the one joke I think you're going to bring up, but go ahead.
No, that's the opening. He talks about how men are men and women are women, and every person came to this earth through the legs of a woman. Basically, it's the joke that is the hero of the right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
First off, if that's all you're seeing from the special, and you're saying that he's transphobic, go watch it. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's not some hero of the right. He's a comedian. A lot of what he says is wildly uncomfortable and would bother trans people. I get that. I understand that. All he's saying is that he doesn't want trans people to punch down on his people. It's the same thing he's been preaching forever, that black people are oppressed in this country. It's the same thing that he's been doing. He's not a hero of the right. He's just a guy who's speaking his mind, and people listen to his opinions. Get over it.
Yeah.
That goes for everyone. People on the left who think he's a villain and people on the right who think he's some hero of the alt-right. He's not. He's just a comedian. He's funny. I like him. I'm a huge fan. I enjoyed the special. It's not some hero stand. It's just him speaking his mind.
Yeah. It's a metric for how bad the culture is when one guy just tells the truth and everyone applauds it. You know? And the thing that I wish Dave Chappelle would realize is he helped create the problem. And
interesting.
If you don't think that, every time he advocates violence for a white person saying the N-word.
Has he advocated for that?
I don't know. But I'm sure he would not be thrilled if a white person used the N-word. But he uses the N-word. So every time he creates these boundaries, these arbitrary boundaries around words, he adds to
the problem.
The political correctness problem. And this is where political correctness leads, bro. You advocate this system of political correctness. Okay, this certain group can't use this word. And now when your friend starts using his or her free speech to defend you in your free speech and then gets so much hate that she kills herself over it, you've lent to that system, sir. You have been a part of that problem. If you can't allow the freedom of speech for every white man that feels the urge to say the N-word, whether because his favorite rapper said it or because his daddy back in the Ozarks taught him it, you are lending yourself to the system that caused your friend to kill itself.
So to that end, first off, saying that people from whose daddies are back in the Ozarks are the only racists in this country is a vicious stereotype I won't stand for.
Oh,
sorry.
How dare
no, but for real, I'm not convinced that he would advocate for that. As far, and I can't speak for him. I don't know. He just has said some things that I think are interesting about the
like what? I'm open to being wrong. It was
in his last special, the one before, he talked about, and in the special he screams faggot.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he wasn't allowed to say it on Chappelle's show.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lady says, well, you can't say faggot because you're
right.
Not one.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yeah, I'm not an N-word either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the punchline of the joke.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if we take that at face value, I tend to think he'd probably be like, oh yeah, that's fair for everyone to say. And I might be wrong. Maybe it was just an entertaining punchline because I did laugh out loud when he said it.
You could be right. I've heard some interviews with him about the white man keeps the black man down. Like he's pretty social justice-y as far as blacks go.
I do know that as well.
So but it's the same. It's the same. And maybe maybe he's connected the dots and maybe he hasn't, but it's the exact same.
Yeah.
If Dave Chappelle can't say fag, it's exactly the same as me not being able to say the N-word.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the same arbitrary box around speech.
Yeah.
Sure, I get that. To that end, it's just a man, a really rich man, a fairly influential man, speaking his mind.
Well,
if you don't blow it out of proportion, it doesn't get out of proportion. He's not spreading hate. At the end of the special, he's traumatized that his friend died. That's the whole point. He dedicates the whole special to her and Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
I guess they were like good friends, dude. I guess they did a movie together a while back. Anyways.
Oh yeah, I do know that. Here's the thing with those two. I know that
Norm and Dave.
I know that Norm Macdonald had his enemies, but I think if he was trying, he was super likable.
I agree.
And Dave Chappelle, I'm sure there's hardly anyone that's met him that hasn't just
Loved him.
Yeah. So it's not shocking at all that they're friends, for sure. But anyways.
He doesn't incite violence, is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't advocate for violence. And none of that is what happened. Go watch the special. Lighten up.
Who
and
have you
laugh
heard
at
complaining about it, that you take this serious? Because I thought it was just like lunatic trannies, but maybe I'm wrong. Have you heard? Do you have friends that are upset about it? Oh,
trannies and gays.
Yeah.
I just saw some things that were interesting that didn't line up with what's actually in the special.
And it lends itself to the lack of self-awareness of the left.
Well, also I think the lack of self-awareness on the right.
Because all he does is point out, look, you lunatics are responsible for my friend killing herself.
Yeah.
And I would argue your friend's mental disorder was probably what was responsible, but the bullying definitely didn't help.
Yeah. And to that end, I think that's a great way to finish this conversation about Dave Chappelle. What did he do when his friend, a trans woman, I can't remember if his friend was a boy transitioning to a girl or a girl transitioning to a boy, it doesn't matter. I'm going with trans woman. When his friend killed themselves, what did Dave Chappelle do? And what did all y'all do when you claim to advocate for these types of people in this group? What did you do, and what did Dave Chappelle do? Because Dave Chappelle set up a college fund for this daughter, and she will never want for a thing in her whole life. She will be taken care of because he actually cares about this person, where she's not just an object to further the movement. She's not just a pawn, a martyr to further this movement. She's
not just a teenage girl in a high school bathroom getting raped by an emotionally and mentally sick individual. She's not either one of those people. She's a person in his eyes.
Yeah. He cares about her.
Yeah.
And he's doing what it takes to make sure that those she left behind are taken care of.
Yeah.
Even if he's just grandstanding in his special, which I don't think he is. I think it's a deeply emotional part for a comedy special. And it's not that funny. What are you doing? Like, you claim to advocate for these people. Show up. Dave Chappelle did. And he's just a comedian. Get over yourselves and laugh a little bit.
Yeah. And the between the Dave Chappelle special and the girl in the restroom at the high school, that's all the proof I need to know that the LGBTQ movement is corrupted. Hey, reasonable gays and lesbians out there, it's time to start calling this out. Why do you think? Look at what your movement is doing. Look at the chaos your movement is sowing. Look at the sickness that it's holding up, propping up in society.
And I'll further that with one more question. What are you still fighting for?
Yep.
What? This goes particularly to gays and lesbians. What rights are you lacking? Yep. People look at you weird?
Yep.
Is that, you want people to not look at you weird? Good luck. Welcome to the club. Look, and you know what? I don't have the crutch of I can fall back on I'm gay for people looking at me weird. I wish I could, because that'd be nice. I could blame everything on that. But I can't. I'm a straight white male, so when people look at me weird, I just have to think, oh, they don't like me.
Yep.
And it has nothing to do with anything about me except for that they just don't like me, and that happens sometimes.
Yep.
I don't know.
Anyone still supporting the LGBTQ movement is supporting this. You're supporting all this behavior until they disavow transgenderism and recognize that gender is important. They are supporting the rape of children in high schools. This is your revolutionary movement. And I'm related to people that would die to support it, that love it. They celebrate it on their social media. And I'm calling you out. You're supporting this culture destroying machine that is causing far more harm than good. It's not causing any good anymore. And I'm not convinced that it caused good. I'm not convinced that the
same-sex marriage.
Yeah, same-sex marriage is a good thing. And I'm a libertarian about it. I'm all about if your church wants to do it, by all means. But I don't think the government should be involved in any way. And
if your church doesn't support it, start your own church. You can do that.
And if your church, a lot of people get super rich doing it. And if your church, and if your church does support it, I'm leaving. Not my church. Peace out. I don't believe in that. And I have a right to do that. Just like I have a right to, if you're born with female genitalia, I have a right to call you a woman. If you want to change your name to a man's name, fine. That's on you. But I will not call you, I will not lie and call you something that you're not. I will not aid your mental disorder any more than I have to.
So, to that end, if that's what you want, you better full send it and fool me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Trick me.
I'm begging you to trick me.
For sure. Yeah, I don't get... I'm sorry, but your movement is corrupt. And I hope that the person we're related to is listening right now and he hears me say this. The movement you are supporting is corrupt. You are supporting the destruction of our culture and the rape of
underage girls.
Yeah.
In
just like
high school bathrooms.
Every time I pay my taxes, I'm supporting the killing of innocent Afghani civilians in Afghanistan through the war on terror.
Yeah.
However, I've heard from some civilians in Afghanistan that the juice was worth the squeeze. It was worth all those people dying so that they could have a better culture over there. So that females could be educated. So I accept it. I accept the bad with the good. Now, do you accept the bad with the good? That you're responsible for all these?
That wasn't our movement.
That's
what they'll say.
About what?
To what you just said, they'll say that wasn't our movement.
The transgender kid? And that's when I will say, yes, it is your movement that made this, it made the revolutionaries run for
the school
board. It made the cheap school board members realize they will get sued, think that they'll get sued for kicking this kid out of school. And, it's responsible for every educator who is trying to confuse our children about their gender. This is your movement, folks. How far are you going to let it go? How much are you going to let it burn? You set some fires. They achieve some goals. Now, how far? How far do you let it burn?
Indeed. How far do you let it burn? Where's your line in the sand?
And how many more girls have to get raped, do you think, before transgenders are back on the lynching list? This is how it happens.
I bet it's at least a dozen.
This is how it happens, people. This is how the Bubba effect happens. One girl gets raped, no real consequences. Another girl gets raped, no real consequences. How long before? All right, fine. I see a tranny, I kill him because they're rapists. Because people think like that.
Yeah, they do.
People think like that. That's how people think. This is why death camps happen because people think like that.
We've hit this point so many times. The movement you're supporting will turn its back on you first.
Mm-hmm. Every time.
If your movement is a communist revolution in progress, it will turn its back on you first.
Liberals.
That goes for transgenders first. They'll be the first on the docket. Then gays. Then black people. That's how these communist takeovers are. You know who's not going to end up in a death camp right away? Me and you. Because
people that look like me and you, not people that sound like me and you.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I just meant because we are bottom of the totem pole grunt workers, and they got to keep us working for a while. Sure. We'll go eventually. Don't make no mistake, based on our opinions and ideas. But
look, yeah, we've talked about it before.
Yeah,
the liberals die too. You're the first to go into the camps.
Because they can't have revolutionaries out on the street.
Communist Party members go in, later.
Give it time.
Yeah. But there will be a new leader who will be like, oh, these guys are all loyal to that guy. So,
oh, these guys are all loyal to Lenin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Stalin. I better throw him in jail or throw him in camps.
Yep.
That's how it goes every time. Read your history books.
Okay.
What do you think? That issue pushed good enough or what?
Yep. If I've offended you as a LGBTQ advocate, good. But look deep down from where that anger comes and figure it out.
And let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, come on the show.
Tell me in the comments.
Tell me why you're not tell me why you don't support rape. The rape of teenage girls by trannies. I know you're against rape of straight males raping straight women, but why are you for the rape of straight females getting raped by transgender boys? Why are you for that?
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
All righty, folks. I think that's all for this week.
Yep.
Kind of ended on a sad note a little bit. Sad might be the wrong word.
Yeah, I'm just fed up, dude.
Resigned.
It's
a
like,
resigned note. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. We were watching BYU TV, and I don't know. I won't bring it up. It's good. BYU TV sucks, though.
Y'all have a great week. God bless.